Here I am in Dunedin.
It's Ed Mac and
So over the course of the next 6 minutes, I'm going to show you all the fantastic things to see and do in this beautiful city. Actually, maybe not all the things. I've only got a day, so that's not really possible, really, is it? First stop on the tour, the historic Dunedin railway station, a real centrepiece of the city, built in 1906. Let's take a look inside. During the early days, it was actually the country's busiest, handling 100 trains a day. Nowadays, it's less useful, catering for freight trains. You got the nice railway station here, and you have the skate park. If you like trains, this is a great place to come. And the pretty cool touristy steam locomotives. Look at that steam train. For all of those train fanatics. So my girlfriend Lizzie has a nursing conference in Dunedin today, so I thought I'd come down as well, have the day off. Free petrol. We stayed at the Leviathan Hotel, which is one of the oldest in Dunedin, built in 1884. It's a little dated, but it's historical. Named after a mythical sea monster, not sure why, the Leviathan Hotel is believed to be haunted. Not surprising, it definitely has the Shining vibes to it. It's haunted by the ghost of Mrs. Anstice Silk, the second owner of the hotel. Many staff encounter strange experiences, a cool, spooky feeling, glasses of water appearing and then disappearing, your name being called, but nobody's there.
Ooh, this place is spooky.
Don't fear though, she is, apparently, a nice ghost. So Edinburgh is about 18,000 kilometres away. So I saw this church from the hotel. It's got an awesome Gothic spire. Then you have the High Street, the centre of the city. Not really much to comment on here. It looks fairly similar to a lot of other towns and city centres. So this is St Paul's Cathedral. Looks a bit different to the one in London. Okay, so there's a statue here in the centre of Dunedin for Robert Burns, the Scottish poet, because Dunedin has a big Scottish heritage. It's actually the Scottish Gaelic name for Edinburgh, Dunedin. So it is actually modelled on Edinburgh, and I've never been to Edinburgh, so Dunedin, the next best thing. There he is, with a seagull on his head, looking good. So a trip to Dunedin isn't complete without a trip to the world's steepest street, Baldwin Street. Now it did have its world record taken away by a street in Wales until a Kiwi scientist spent years painstakingly looking at the data, and it actually got concluded that Baldwin Street was the steepest, so they overturned the ruling. So Baldwin Street is now once again the steepest street in the world. Here we go, we're starting the incline. I already feel a bit out of breath. Need to go back to the gym. Woo. Imagine living at the top of this street. The river flowing down. Whoa! Yeah, water. Well, you've been needing that after this walk. Woo! Good for the cardio. 1988, Ian Clark roller skated up Baldwin Street. And then in 2018, Harry Willis pogo sticked up Baldwin Street. Jeez. That seems like a rather well-placed political sign there for current New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern. So good use of metaphor, I guess. I don't know, I feel like let's keep Baldwin Street non-political, right? Let's keep it non-partisan. Going back down. And you can always be sure there's always going to be some entrepreneur looking to cash in on all of the tourists who might be feeling peckish after that trip up and down the street, and there most certainly is. The Steep Cafe. I'm going to skip this one because the prices look a bit steep. Next stop, I went to the Dunedin Botanic Garden, but I'm not going to show you too much of that because you know what gardens look like, don't you? Another interesting thing you can do in Dunedin is the Otago Settlers Museum. Actually a really nice museum, a really kind of interactive experience. They go right through from the history of the first Maori settlers to the introduction of the Scottish and Irish settlers, and then how they arrived. They've got a nice exhibition which shows you what it's like to be on the ship, and it goes right up to the present day as well, which is really cool. So definitely recommend that. It's free as well. Wish I had more time to spend there. It was awesome. I felt very thirsty after all that history, so I'm now on my way to the Spates Brewery. So for those of you that aren't aware of Spates, it's basically the biggest beer in the South Island. It carries about the same cultural significance to the South Islander as Guinness does for the Irish. But in classic drinks industry style, Spates is owned by Lion Group, and Lion Group is owned by Kirin Holdings Company, which is a member of the Mitsubishi Group. The drinks industry is full of these big conglomerates. It's all international these days. So it's been a good day in Dunedin. I've done a lot of things. Lizzie, how was your nursing conference?
It's good. 7 hours of learning.
Did you learn a lot? You did. But just outside Dunedin, there was one more place left to see, the Meraki Boulders.
I like that boulder.
They're so spherical.
That is a nice boulder.
Now, the Maori explanation of how these boulders came to be are that they're the shipwrecked remains of a giant mystical canoe called the Arai Te Uru. The slightly more boring scientific explanation is that it's just due to shoreline erosion. Really cool. I can see why the Maoris thought they were special. They're just so perfectly spherical. Okay, see you guys, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.